What's up, Outlaws? What the heck are these things? Wave relay? They're really called the MPU5 radio. They're the most advanced radio that there is. I checked it out. You can go to their site right now, persistentsystems.com on YouTube, and you can see all of the information on these. But I just want to kind of give you an overview. Got a special treat for you today. One, what are they? How do you use them? These are what we're actually using for work now, which is kind of cool, which is why we have them. But what is it? The MPU5. All your favorite operators have them. Now we're going to explain to you what they actually are. Guys, check it out. Our buddies at SMF sent this over. SMF Collective on Instagram. Go check them out right now. Show them some love. Those dudes are some pretty good dudes. I think you're going to like what they have coming up soon, so go check them out. If you want to know more about the MPU5, like, subscribe button right now. Comment, what do you think this radio's for? Now, here's what's most important. You need to wait till the very end. I'm making you wait till the very end. And I'm gonna tell you how this will benefit you in a completely different way than you think, and it's not gonna cost you $1, but it's gonna change everything you do in your tactical life, your tactical outlook, and how it's gonna help you guys. Stay tuned to the very end.
So what is an MPU5 radio? What is a dismount kit? How do we put it together? How do I use it? How do I spot a fake? So it's a man-A system. It uses a 3-chain MIMO, 1, 2, and 3 chains. And it's used for mostly voice communication and data transfer from a dismounted solution. It also has an embedded GPS right here that tracks its unit's location and can push that to the wider network system. So when we get this as an operator, it's issued to us as a dismount kit. It's not just this. Now the components of this dismount kit start with the PTT. PTT stands for push to talk. It has basically 2 ports, one for what our end user device is, we'll cover that in a second, and the other one goes straight into our radio, output to our headphones, or stereo system, speaker, however you want to communicate. All right, so as I mentioned, end user devices. This one is from Persistent. It is called the RDC. The other very popular one is a Samsung phone. We call them EUDs, or end user devices, because it is not necessarily a Samsung brand phone. So last component, headset. I personally like the Comtacs from 3M. There's also Invisio, those have proven to be working. And then finally the amps, for all of those that are wondering, they are very comfortable, but they typically have a connection problem here inside and the interoperability with the PTT. So typically they don't work very well for us. So another common misconception about this system is that you can like hold it up and like talk to it like old school, like call and fire. There's no buttons. There's no speaker. It doesn't work that way. All right, so the only way you can talk on this is through the push to talk, connected to either your headset and or like a speaker microphone system. All right guys, placement of this system. Real commonplace over here on your back here, or in this rear kidney position, which is real hard for me to reach. I run it right here on my non-dominant side. I'm right-handed, non-dominant side. None of these positions are incorrect or wrong. So if you see a picture of somebody like, oh, they don't run it on their back. No man, this is a dealer's choice. If you wanna run it on your back, you run it on your back. There's some downsides to doing that. One being, your buddy's got to turn it on. But hey, what are teammates for? Now, upsides to running on the back or your kidney position is, it keeps this space, this workspace clean. If you notice when I put it right here, these antennas, you're like, are they in my face? I've kind of gotten used to it. It's not a big problem for me. This is where I always ran it. Having comms that I could change easily was, part of my primary job. So switching channels and doing these things and making sure I had active communication was very important to me. I didn't want to rely on anybody else because sometimes they were doing other things. So again, front position here is normally where we see guys run this. But again, there's no wrong place. And if you're, dominant hand is your left potentially, maybe your other side. But this is where I like to run it. It's what's worked out best for me, regardless of what radio system I've run. All right, so the other thing to keep in mind about why and where you place your radio is, as a team leader, I maybe had to talk to multiple different people very, very quickly. So I may have an inter squad channel. I may have been talking to Medevac, calling in a 9-line. I may have been talking to CAS. I may have been controlling a UAV or looking at a feed. And these things they're not on the same channel. So a lot of times, and if you look at some of the JTACs, they have a whole nother radio that they're carrying. So having it in this front position, even though it does take up some prime real estate, and if you go prone, you can get things, potentially more clogged up, it gives you the ability to flip through these and have positive control without relying on other people. And that was very, very important to me. So that's where I like to keep it on my front. Contrary to what you guys see in the movies, there's a lot more of this, talking face to face with people, communicating, than running around high speed, low drag, just popping bullets in people's faces. All right, so for EUDs, we talked about end user devices. These are the two most common, and we'll kind of cover pros and cons of each one. So as a team leader or somebody that has to operate a robot or any type of sensor, this one here, the RDC, has joysticks. It has the same buttons that you're used to on a lot of common controllers, and it's got a little bit bigger screen. So this would be very common if your job was, a robot operator, either ground or air, or a team leader, you got to move a lot of things around potentially. Downside with this, as you can tell, I left it on so you can see the difference in size. They are quite a bit different, and this is a Samsung S20 tactical version phone right now. They're quite a bit bigger in size. So when you put this on here and you flip it down, it is easier to use when you're using the screen, but it does kind of take up a little bit more real estate on your vest. It takes up more space. It's not really any heavier, but assaulters, things like that are not in the screen, typically like a smaller device. Now, push to talk placement. Sometimes you'll see guys with the PTT, which is right here, up here, or over here, or over here, or God only knows where. I think the key rule here is not really so much a rule, but a good thing to think about is, can I reach it with both hands? So dominant, non-dominant hand. And when I have whatever weapon system I'm having in my hand, can I reach it? If it's up here or over here, maybe you can reach that. To me, this is my workspace. This is where I like to keep what this is. I can easily check my talk groups. I can easily hit my buttons with either side if something goes wrong with either hand. So for me, the key was ambidextrous and easy to see and confirm that I'm on the right channels. So two ways to wear the headset with this system is, one, mounted right here on the helmet. A big benefit for that is when it's hot outside and you're wearing a helmet, you can pop your earpiece out if you want to hear ambient noise for whatever, your battery goes dead, get airflow, help cool off, things like that. The other way is to run it underneath your helmet. So you can't pop it out anymore, but you're not always wearing your helmet. So I choose to run it underneath my helmet because I'm not always wearing this. Sometimes I'm wearing a bump helmet, sometimes I'm just not wearing a helmet for whatever reason. So I run just the headset separately like that. All right, so a few ways to spot a fake MPU-5. One, all the new ones will come with this very large center antenna. The originals did have the same exact antenna as the outers, but all the new ones will come with the larger center antenna. Second way to spot a fake, when you turn the unit on, you'll see a blue light right there. When this turns on and meets its neighbor, another MPU-5, it'll turn green. And the third way, you're talking on it like a cell phone. There's no speaker, man. And the fourth way that I see people faking the MPU-5 dismount kit is there's no cable going from the push to talk. This isn't Bluetooth. And and sometimes probably the most important reason why you have a fake MPU-5 is because you can't afford one. This kit is $30,000.
All right, guys, so Mike, thanks for giving us an overview of the MPU-5. Listen, contrary to popular belief, I'm not rich. I'm not made out of money. I use these for another job that I do. Here is the part that I wanted you to stay for. And if you were disciplined enough to stay this long, here's what I'm gonna tell you. So on your cell phone, on any cell phone device you have, you can download CivTac. That's what it's for. I'm pretty sure it's free. Maybe it's not, maybe it's like $40. But you can download CivTac. ATAC is the military version, CivTac is for civilians. This is perfect for airsoft, this is perfect for your prepper network, this is perfect for your family. You can always see As long as you have cell phone service, you can always see exactly where everybody is, just like ATAC. It is exactly the same. There are just a few little features. I don't know if I'm allowed to tell you what those features are, so I'm not going to. There are just a few little features that literally do not apply to anything you do in America, literally nothing. And really nothing overseas. Just those couple of features that differ the two. But with CivTac, that you can, I highly recommend it, download it on your phone, have all your friends download it on your phone, talk to each other, so then you can always know where each other is all of the time, live and in person, and you can show each other threats. You can be like, all right guys, look, let's look at it from a real prepper scene, right? If you guys are looking at this, you're looking at a real prepper scene. First thing to know, real preppers, if you turn on a Baofeng radio, everybody knows where you are. If you turn on a Yesu radio, everybody knows where you are. Like, I know you think those are good, but if you're going up against anybody other than your neighbor, then just leave the Baofeng at home, I promise. I know it's the most popular prepper radio, but leave it at home. The way that CivTac will work is you guys can have like all of your neighbors in the area, as long as all of you are talking, you can say, hey, I just saw a guy here or a truck parked here, and you can literally put that emblem there. And you can literally get it down to where you know it was at, Martha Stewart's front doorstep 2 feet back, and put that there, and you can watch him. And then whenever that person moves or that object moves and your buddy sees it, they can say, oh, it moved from here, cancel it and put it here. And you can see where everybody is. So then that way, if let's say me and you are in a mutual assistance group and we are out and about and all of a sudden, hey, somebody is at your house, then I can be able to say, all right, I see you and I see you live moving, and you can now see me, and we know where we think the guy is every time we post it. So now I can tell you, hey, go left, go right. It gives me directions to get to you. Same thing inside of a vehicle. Works great. It's legal for all civilians. Download CivTac. And thanks for watching, guys. Like, subscribe, hit the bell notifications. Outlaw out.